Hello, this is Frank Neely from HeartlandDiaryUSA.com, bringing you news every conservative can use. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay up to date. Well, today we're taking another look at Leland Vittert on Fox News. This guy is the gift that just keeps on giving. Today, in the wake of the attack on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, Vittert pursued not just a liberal agenda, but a neocon agenda as he interviewed Morgan Ortagus, a spokeswoman for the State Department, and made the case that the Trump policy of patience, strategic patience, in pursuing our goals in the Mideast is actually weakness. He chortles, he interrupts, and he belittles his guest. It's time for Leland Vittert to go, folks.
All right, with that, we bring in Morgan Ortagus, State Department spokeswoman, who spent a long night on duty and on watch, as so many did at the State Department and the Pentagon. Appreciate you being with us this morning. 24 hours on, pretty clear that this was not a bunch of angry Iraqi protesters. This was organized by the government of Iran at their direction using their militias. How much of this was a test by the Iranians of the United States?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Leland. This was not protesters. These were terrorists that are organized, trained, and equipped by the Iranian regime. And this is something that we see in their playbook quite often. We have had threats to our embassy, which the Secretary has discussed. We went to Iraq over the summer to address some of these threats with the government of Iraq. You'll probably remember that we actually went on ordered departure for a while at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. So we have been facing threats from the Iranian regime for quite some time now. But you have a wonderful reporter in Trey Yingst, who I believe is out in the region. If he wants to see, and if your audience wants to see pictures of protesters in Iraq, you can go to Tahrir Square in Baghdad, where you can see peaceful protesters who have been protesting corruption and have been protesting and wanting transparency in Iraq. These were not legitimate protesters.
Let's get back to the Iranian playbook. You make an excellent point in terms of Trey's reporting about the protests in Baghdad, two different issues, but the Iran playbook.
Yes.
Back in May, 4 oil tankers, 2 Saudi, 1 Emirati, 1 Norwegian, damaged by mines. June 13th, 2 Saudi tankers attacked. June 20th, Iran shoots down a U.S. drone near the Strait of Hormuz. July 19th, the IRGC seizes a British flag tanker. And on September 14th, these same militias attacked the critical Saudi oil infrastructure. All of those happened and no strong military response by the United States. Are the Iranians under the impression right now that they can kind of do whatever they want?
Well, first of all, those are just attacks that have been reported. There's plenty of that have gone on unreported as well. And we think that our maximum economic pressure campaign is working. Not everything that we do, of course, is public, but we have told the Iranian regime countless times, do not confuse President Trump's strategic patience with weakness. And unfortunately, the regime has done that, which is why that you saw the strikes over the weekend targeted at these Iranian militias at Kataib Hezbollah. And while we have President Trump, Secretary Pompeo have extended the hand of diplomacy numerous times. Every time we extend the hand of diplomacy, we see these sort of kinetic actions or see these sort of ginned-up protests by terrorists.
So you're kind of making the point that the Iranians keep getting offered the hand of diplomacy and they keep coming back with these attacks. When is the hand of diplomacy the iron fist of U.S. airstrikes against Iran, targeted attacks on the IRGC, actually not making their militias pay a price, but actually making them pay a price in a language they understand?
We've been making them pay a price for the past year and a half since we withdrew from the JCPOA.
But it hasn't been working. It hasn't been working. It hasn't stopped them.
That's totally wrong, Leland. In fact, we think our policy is working stronger than ever. The Iranian economy is out of money.
I'm going to finish, Leland. You just told me that every time you extended the hand of friendship, there were kinetic actions by the Iranians. Now you're saying the policy's working, yet they keep doing more bad acts. I don't understand.
Good. I'll explain it to you then. Let me clarify for you. The reason why our policy is working is because the Iranian regime is out of money. The militias are out of money. We are extending the hand of diplomacy while simultaneously pursuing our maximum economic pressure campaign. While we are pursuing sanctions, the president said just last night that we want a peaceful resolution, that we do not want war with Iran. We're not seeking another war in the Middle East. That's not what we're doing here. But we are holding the the Iranian regime accountable, and we are protecting ourselves and defending ourselves. So just because we have maximum restraint doesn't mean you're going to have to let me finish, Leland, if we're going to finish this interview, okay?
You've gone on for now about a minute. I'm just telling you what the Iranians said. They said, you can't do anything. This is the Ayatollah in a speech in Tehran. If the Islamic Republic decides to challenge and fight, it will do so unequivocally. Does that worry anybody?
No, we're completely confident in the Marines that we have guarding our U.S. Embassy. We think the situation is secure in Baghdad. However, we're always on alert around the Middle East. You saw Secretary Esper come out yesterday and talk about the additional projection of forces that will be in the region to protect us. But to say, I have to go back to that point though, to say that our policy isn't working is just absent of any fact and any reality. We can pursue peaceful diplomacy with the Iranian regime while also continuing our maximum economic pressure campaign and while also defending ourselves. To conflate the issue and to say that the choice is
I just want to get this.
to conflate the issue and to say that it's a war with Iran or nothing is just a fundamental misunderstanding of how foreign policy actually works.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it there. Morgan, thanks so much.